Hey everyone, welcome back to today's Explainer. We're skipping right past the myths and the urban legends today because we're going to be looking at 5 real, verifiable events that just completely and utterly defy logical explanation. I really want to emphasize something crucial right off the bat. None of this is fiction. None of it is staged. You know, it's so easy to consume mystery content and treat it like a thriller movie, right? But no screenwriter invented these stories. No director set these scenes up. What you're about to see is grounded entirely in cold, hard facts. Okay, let's dive into this. Every single thing actually happened. And to this day, despite the very best efforts of modern science, investigations, and technology, nobody knows why. So let's approach this with genuine curiosity and an analytical mind as we step into the fascinating territory of the unknown.
Case number 1, the elements.
So picture this. February 1959. 9 ski hikers vanish in the freezing, unforgiving isolation of the Ural Mountains in Russia. And the crazy part here is the massive, inexplicable contradiction. On one hand, you've got these highly trained, experienced mountaineers. They were totally prepared and had done this exact type of trek before. But on the other hand, search teams eventually found that the hikers had literally ripped their tent open from the inside out and fled into negative 30 degrees Celsius temperatures. Barefoot. No shoes, no coats, just gone. And when search teams eventually found their scattered bodies out there in the snow, the physical evidence just threw medical logic right out the window. We're talking crushed ribs and fractured skulls. The medical examiner actually noted that these injuries would require the massive blunt force of a literal car crash. Yet, and here's the truly baffling part, there were 0 external wounds, no bruising at all, no blood on the skin. And inexplicably, one woman was entirely missing her tongue. Eventually, Soviet investigators just threw their hands up. They officially closed the case with this one cryptic sentence: died due to an unknown compelling force. I mean, what kind of force makes 9 expert survivalists tear through their only shelter and run barefoot into a deadly blizzard? To this day, the mountain is keeping that secret.
Moving on to case 2, the void.
For our next mystery, we're shifting from the frozen mountains to the vast, empty expanse of the sky, the story of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. That number, 239, represents the human toll, 239 people. On March 8, 2014, MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur heading for Beijing. It was supposed to be just a completely routine overnight flight. Ordinary folks traveling for business, going on vacation, or just heading home. But the sequence of events turns into one of the most unsettling aviation mysteries in history. Just 38 minutes after takeoff, the plane completely disappears from radar. No mayday call, no distress signal. The pilots reported absolutely nothing unusual. And then, just total silence. But the plane didn't crash right then. Nope. Satellite data actually shows it drifted silently through the night sky, way off course, flying south over the Indian Ocean for 7 more hours. Someone, or something, was controlling that aircraft in total darkness. And despite launching the single most massive worldwide search operation in human history, the answers are just lost to the void. Yeah, a handful of debris pieces washed up in Africa, but the main wreckage, the black box, and those 239 souls on board, they simply vanished. It's like the ocean just swallowed them whole.
All right, case 3, the terror.
The sheer, desperate finality of this distress signal is absolutely chilling. Ships in the Strait of Malacca started picking up frantic Morse code from a Dutch vessel called the SS Orang Medan. It read, "All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead." That was followed by a few broken, unintelligible words, and then one final terrifying sign-off: "I die."
When rescue crews finally boarded the drifting ship, what they discovered was absolute horror. Every single member of the crew was dead, but it wasn't just that they were dead. Their eyes were wide open with this visceral, unimaginable fear. There were no wounds, no marks, no poison detected. Even the ship's dog was dead, frozen in a rigid stance of pure terror. Bodies were found with their arms outstretched, mouths open in silent screams. But before investigators could gather any real evidence, a mysterious fire broke out deep within the ship, and it sank straight to the bottom of the sea, taking the nightmare right along with it. Next up, case 4, the cipher.
Let's pivot from physical danger to a deeply psychological Cold War puzzle and walk through the bizarre sequence of clues left behind by an impeccably dressed dead man found on an Australian beach. Step 1. He had absolutely zero identification, and whoever he was, he had meticulously cut the manufacturer labels out of every single piece of his clothing. Step 2. Detectives found a tiny scrap of paper hidden in his pocket with the words Tamam Shud printed on it. Step 3. That scrap was traced back to a rare poetry book discarded in a nearby car. And finally, Step 4. Inside the back cover of that specific book, they found a hidden, unbroken 5-line string of random letters, a full-blown cipher.
So, tamam shud is actually a Persian phrase meaning it is finished, and it's found on the final page of a book called The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. For over 70 years, this guy's identity was a total blank. His teeth didn't match any records, his fingerprints matched no databases. Now, in 2022, DNA testing finally gave him a name and strongly hinted at this crazy web of Cold War espionage. But even with all our modern technology, that 5-line code found in the book, it remains completely, stubbornly unbroken. And finally, Case 5, the discovery. 4,000. That is how many feet a newly discovered city stretches beneath the sands of Giza. This was found by Italian researchers just recently, in March 2025. Just to put that staggering number into perspective for a second, this underground complex is nearly 10 times larger than the Great Pyramids sitting right above it. That is absolutely massive. Just think about that. The pyramids are widely considered one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history, and they might just be the roof of something infinitely more complex, an entire underground civilization. Now, while some in the scientific community are heavily debating and disputing these initial findings, the researchers are standing firm. If they're right, a hidden world has been sitting quietly beneath one of the most heavily studied places on Earth for thousands of years. It would literally rewrite everything we know about ancient Egypt forever. So, 5 distinct, very real events. 5 monumental efforts by investigators, scientists, and global search teams who gave their entire careers to finding answers. And yet, the void remains. The mountains of Russia won't say what killed those 9 hikers. The Indian Ocean kept that plane. The seafloor swallowed the Orang Medan. A Cold War code remains unbroken on a beach. And thousands of feet beneath the desert, an ancient secret simply waits. It really is a stark reminder of our own powerlessness in the face of the unknown. So I'll leave you with this final thought as we wrap up today's explainer. Which of these terrifies you the most? Is it the hostile forces of nature, the chilling silence of a vanished plane, or maybe a secret hidden right beneath our feet? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to join us as we continue to unpack the world's most compelling true mysteries. Sleep well tonight, if you can.